Hey guys. It's been another long time since I've blogged, but today was not a great day in the life of Heidi. Um, I've seen a lot of things on Facebook throughout the past couple of days about Beachbody Summit, some crazy, incredible, amazing, crazy workouts that were done by people I know. Like these people look like those workout trainers on videos, and they're people we went to high school with, like Angie and Alyssa. But anyway, I got really excited about that, and Angie's energy is infectious, and I myself have kind of fallen off the I think I've always got one toe on the trail. I always keep in my mind that I'm doing it and this is the time and da 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 da. You can't say you're starting over because that means you failed. But I haven't been giving it any sort of effort, to be honest, in several weeks. And I can sit here and give you excuses, and some of them would be valid, but it doesn't excuse the fact that the number one priority should be me and my own health, and that I haven't made that hasn't been the case. If you look at my previous entry, you'll see in my food blog, my food diary from there, that I haven't been using Shakeology. I don't think I've used Shakeology in 3 weeks, and it's good stuff. So I really think that it's just a daily battle inside about, I don't even know what about, deserving it, laziness, self-worth, believing the statistics. I mean, it's pretty depressing to hear that, according to the National Institute of Health, I have a 95% failure probability for any sort of significant. I think it's 100 pounds, but to me that's not even significant enough. So it's like 95% impossible that people in my obesity rate will have that kind of loss and maintain it. So it's hard to not consider yourself a number. So, but anyway, I kind of got a whiff of that energy again. This weekend was a mixed bag. I got to spend it with some people that I love, and I had a lot of physical health concerns at the same time. And on Facebook, I'm seeing all these great things about the Beachbody Summit, which invigorates even the most athletic. And to me, it looks like, a movie of unreal accomplishments. I mean, just the numbers of people there tells you, and they're all coaches, which means they have people at home, at least one other person in the world is being impacted by them. That doubles those numbers, and you realize that there is an actual radical movement that's bigger than any one product or workout routine about being healthy and maintaining your health and letting your outside look like your inside should feel. Sorry. I think you'll understand the choked up moment here in a minute. Anyway, so Saturday I was at the Children's Museum, and we're walking along, got through the dinosaurs, heading through the trains, and I feel some chest pains. I mean, sometimes you get that and you think it's gas, or it is gas. So I didn't really want to say anything, but it was pretty persistent, and I started feeling some things more like still on my chest, but more over towards my armpit. And then I sat down and chilled, and this whole thing progressed. It took a while for me to totally freak out, but by the end of it, be it nerves or what, I had the whole, pain up the left arm, from the neck, around the chest, and I was pretty sure I was having a heart attack, so much so that I was looking through the gift shop for Bayer. But it dissipated, and went on with the day. And then that night, I just got so incredibly cold, like from the inside out. And I mean, you know that I'm a pretty social person, especially when I have people in, like visiting me. And by 8 o'clock, I was 8 or 8:30. I was upstairs with my regular blanket and Afghans on top of me, and I mean, teeth are chattering. I have never been that cold. In the middle of the night, I wake up, I'm sweat dripping off of me. I don't know if whatever the cold was broke off or if it transitioned into a fever or what. And then I felt somewhat normal on Sunday. We went to IHOP, and I was just exhausted. And, you know, my Facebook post showed that I had a pretty lazy Sunday with like a guiltily active evening. But I spent hours just getting on this sofa that I'm supposed to be getting off of. So anyway, I go to work. Day's fine. But every once in a while, I get this like pang in my chest, and I'm just, you know, not sure if it's anything. Also, horrible indigestion, diarrhea, like the whole digestive process isn't working for me. I mean, I had had some pretty crappy foods. I had Domino's pizza on Friday. We went to Cracker Barrel, and I think I had a salad and a turkey sandwich. But that ran right through me. The next day I had an omelet with pancakes and all this stuff on it and hash browns. Oh my God, I think I went to the bathroom 3 times with that, which is more than you ever wanted to know. But I'm saying something wasn't right. And more than that, I have had a continual throbbing headache in the back of my head, and just this tightness and pressure all over me. And, you know, there's blood pressure issues in our family, and that's where my mind goes. Especially since I can, like, sometimes hear my heart beating in my ear. I feel this pressure on my throat, not a burning sensation, but just like something's pushing on my throat or keeping me from swallowing. And so when I got home, my challenge from Angie was to take a picture of my Shakeology and to work out tonight. So I put on my workout gear, and I'm bending over to put my tennies on, and I felt that pang again. And I was like, no, I have got to take care of this. The last thing I'm going to do is be sitting or standing on the elliptical by myself in my apartment complex and have a heart attack. I'm not doing that. So I went to the Minute Clinic at CVS. She basically had me for about 20 minutes. She thought my blood pressure was kind of high. She sent me to the med clinic at Community. They just triaged me, didn't even really take my info. And then they sent me to the ER. The ER Community was like, there's 6 people waiting. There's no beds. If you really want to get seen pronto, you might want to go to cardiac. So then I end up at the cardiac hospital and finally got some service. I mean, I was in bed with things hooked to me before I even knew what my name was. But anyway, so I'm sitting there in the bed with, I'm just staring to the right, and I see my bra hanging on a hook. And I'm like, these people who don't know me from Adam or Eve are rushing me through the process of, you know, detecting and preventing a heart attack or treating or whatever. And they don't question it for 1 second. I mean, granted, I'm sure that there's liability reasons. I mean, if somebody's coming into a heart hospital, then they just take you at your word. But I couldn't help thinking that every single step of that way, people were taking me so seriously because I look like somebody who could be having a heart attack at 28. And it isn't a joke. It isn't hypochondria. It's completely possible. In fact, I was amazed that it wasn't something to do with my heart. So, thank God it wasn't. They did an EKG. They monitored me for an hour. They did my blood. My electrolytes were fine. My blood pressure started to normalize. I guess it wasn't ever too drastic to begin with. The doctor thinks that I have esophageal spasms. um, which he said that's typically acid reflux related. But he said the symptoms of that feel a lot like a heart attack. So, and it happens periodically because I'm having the spasms periodically. So he gave me a medication that's typically used to treat acid reflux or irritable bowel syndrome. Who knows? But, if you've followed this thread or I've talked to you recently, then, you realize that this year I met my deductible by June. And it's a high deductible because I keep going to the ER for, excruciating back pain or heart attack symptoms. And I went to Cheesecake Factory this weekend. I don't get on the elliptical. I go to a natural park for a week's vacation and do one trail. I swim with fervor at that pool that we had access to all week, like one time. Most of the time I was on a floaty on the lazy river. And yeah, you can throw yourself a break and realize that you're a human and all that stuff, but at the same point, you have to hold yourself accountable. And as I'm sitting there in that room with all these people buzzing around me, it really hit me that I don't care enough about myself to start there in this process. I feel like I love myself, and most importantly, I know that God made me and He loves me and He has never made a mistake. But I don't have enough of whatever that is. Ego, self-esteem, selfishness, whatever. I think I'm pretty selfish, but I don't have, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm too selfish. I want it all and I don't want to do the work that it takes. And then I'm like shocked when I'm in the hospital. But so here I am sitting here and I hear my nephew crying. He can't even come back because he's so exhausted and just upset. And my mom is crying, and my sister is wondering if she needs to come down to Indianapolis, and my other sister's holding my hand and saying, let's just get gastric. Let's just make it go away, because you can't go away. And I call my best friend, and she loses it, and she's like, if not for you, it should be for you, but if not for you, then for us. And I'm so scared that somehow this won't be my bottom. Because there have been some pretty low moments that I thought were my bottom. And there always seems to be another one. So, Amanda and I were talking about what can I do now? What's the step that that'll make the difference? And I feel like the only answer is going to be a completely professional, holistic approach to this. I have talked about doing that. I thought I was doing that now, but I have got to use the resources around me. I'm sorry, I'll get myself together. And I have to want it. I think that's enough for now. Yeah, that's all I can say right now. Okay.